Let's do this. So, party people. Last time out, we had the panic of a lifetime. It was incredibly close, and I have watched the clip again. And we should have lost the save. Now, obviously, I learned afterwards that we can move stuff through the inventory for free. Now, the reason why I didn't think we could is because at one point, Gale, I tried to move something into Gale's inventory when he was on, like, the rocks and whatnot, and it said will provoke an opportunity of attack. So I assumed that meant that he would have to move to go grab it, you know, to be in a certain area of effect or, you know, zone. Obviously not the case. So obviously watching that back and watching so many swords strike at Gale, and suddenly our dice went well. Now, when I look back at that fight, I don't think I misplayed it that bad. Now, I'm not good at the game, but I don't think I misplayed it that bad. Now, what I mean by that is we did get unlucky. We did get spanked very, very hard. But I'm afraid this is all we've got left. And we're not retreating. Now, there were calls for me to put my druid somewhere else. We've picked druid. This is a druid playthrough. We're going to druid up. Now, I've moved the gear about. These are the 4 people we're going to take in. We're going to respec. We're going to go with a plan. There will be no retreating this time. There'll be no retreating. So, we're going to start with my druid. I feel like we just needed that chat to get it over and done with. Because that was scary. We're 51 hours in, and we were very close to losing the save.
Fate spins along as it should.
Dost thou require a new ally?
So, let's
As
change
thou
class.
desire.
So, we'll start with my druid, and what the plan is. So, we're keeping druid. This is a druid playthrough. We're not going to skip out now, because like we said, we could just go monk and go pew pew, but where would be the fun of that? We started as a druid. We will, for all intensive purposes, end as a druid. The fact that I've literally got, like, if you can hear my pieces of paper thing, the fact that I took, like, loads of notes as I was literally ready to make a bard in that fight sort of tells you anything. So, what's going to be best here? We'll take guidance, just because I find it handier having it on my main character rather than Shadowheart, because the amount of times, like, oh, Shadowheart is, like, just out of, like, our range and whatnot. It's just easier having it, like, on my person. Perception is actually handy to have. So I'll move perception. Everything else is fine. For ability, so we have got the +1 already from the Hag's Hair. That is worth noting. So then we will get to, like, 18 straight away. Right, we're going to dump strength. The only annoying thing about dumping strength is obviously our carry capacity. Going to go 16 constitution. I think that's a good spread. Dexterity I like, constitution I like. And then our wisdom 17, but obviously we've already got the Hag's Hair. So that immediately goes up to 18. We've got the band of intellect on, not that it bothers us too much. That means our intelligence is going to be 17 as well. We don't need strength. And obviously the most important choice when it comes to the druid. So far we have run this entire save so far as Circle of the Moon, which has been good. The problem is I have felt that I am starting to get knocked out of it very, very, very quickly. And it causes us a real big problem that my druid has stood there like a dandelion in a field where a lion is trying to take down a gazelle. I had a look at Circle of the Land. And it looks cool. But we're not doing Circle of the Land. We're going to go with Circle of the Spores. The description: viewing death, necroticness, fungal growth, and spore location. It's definitely hard to say it. As just another part of life, you can manipulate such spores to augment yourself, not the word, and harm your foes. Our druid has come back from the dead, and we are this necrotic nightmare that is going to spawn undead to rain hell upon the enemy. We do get wild shape, but we're probably not going to do it outside, like doing cat and just messing about. We get Halo of Spores. Unleash a cloud of necrotic spores upon a target. This uses a reaction, so other reactions won't trigger this turn. 1d4 necrotic damage. Symbiotic Entity. Gain 8 temporary hit points and deal an additional 1d6 necrotic damage while you have them. Cast Halo of Spores with double damage. And do we just get this? We get this until long rest. Very interesting. So we can just do that automatically. Ends if we use Wild Shape. It can only have temporary hit points from one source. Okay. And we do get Bone Chill, which it's not exactly amazing. It does have its uses. The cantrip is important, because we have a ring with that, but they get disadvantage on their attack rolls. It is what it is. Prepared spells, we don't really have to worry about these. We'll do it as we level up. But generally what we're going to have is Long Strider, Speak with Animals, probably Fog, but we're going, and maybe Create Water, because it's going to have an interesting synergy with what we're going to do with Shadowheart. I love leveling up in this game. And yes, I've been very indecisive with the leveling up. We are sticking with it. So level 3, we get Detect Thoughts, that's cool. We get Blindness, that's fine. We get a load of spells. Heat Metal, Spike Growth, which we're going to love. We're going to be able to use Moonbeam, which we weren't able to use before. Hold Person, which is always good if you've got a melee person. Cast Hold Person, that melee person can go in and just punch face. Level 4, we do get an additional cantrip. We will just get Shillelagh. Not that it matters too much, in all honesty. Prepared spells. Again, it doesn't matter. Like, we're going to have the heal, just as a genuine idea of something that we're probably going to want to run. Get rid of that. Bonus action heal, because having something good as a bonus action is always good. Moonbeam, because we can hold concentration, keep casting that. Probably Spike Growth, although obviously on later levels it might just deteriorate. What else is going to be really good? So we want Long Strider. We want Speak with Animals, just because there's so many opportunities to talk with animals, and to be able to have that as a ritual spell is just, I think, really fun. And then probably just Shockwave. I know there's some really good, but I feel like that would be a very good, like, start. And then you can always, like, move these out for Flaming Sphere and stuff like that, but you can only have one concentration at a time, so Moonbeam is probably going to be our go-to. And then Feet, we're probably just going to get our Wisdom. Does the Hag's Hair not come into a... Then Accept. I'm going to close this quickly. I wonder if that already included... Yeah, so Wisdom 20, so okay, it just didn't show me in that, but we are getting the +1 from Auntie Ethel's boon, so we are at 20 Wisdom. I thought I would just check, I thought I was going insane. Because it says 19 there, but obviously we are getting the +1 from the Hag's Hair, it just doesn't show here. That's fine. We get Cool Lightning, which is amazing. Lightning strikes all target within range, then for 10 turns I can keep cooling it down, which is absolutely awesome. So again, a nice little split would be something like Fairy Fire is always a good one to give everyone advantage, and Core Lightning, that's a very good. Other spells, because I know some people do ask what spells are good, etc. We get Owlbear, but again, we're not going to be using it at this point. Get rid of Ice Knife. Problem is we do have to keep an eye on concentration, because obviously we are going to have a lot of concentration spells. Lesser Restoration. So it's like hold person. We've got a concentration there, we've got a concentration there, we've got a concentration there. So it's just not going to happen. Probably Create Water. I think Create Water would be really, really good. It'll have a little bit of synergy with Shadowheart. And then, this is our level 7 Druid. We get some fun ones. We get Blight. So that's 8d8 necrotic damage. And plants take maximum damage. And have disadvantage of saving throws against it. But we get that for free. We also get Confusion, so confuse a group of creatures. Now I know at one point this weren't working correctly and the AI would still attack. We'll see if that's the case or not. Prepared spells. We're going to get rid of Ice Knife. We're going to get rid of Spike Growth as well. And we're going to bring in Conjure Woodland Being. So we can bring a Dryad to fight beside you. And that lasts until a long rest. We're also going to bring in Conjure Minor Elemental. So we can cast that in the minute at the beginning of the day, and we've got that, you know, until it falls. And then we've also got Conjure Elemental. Yes, we are going for a summoning build. We need a little bit of help. And I think we've got it. So, a little bit more damage dealing. We ain't got the animal form that we had before. But I think we're onto a winner. It does mean gear we pick up is a little bit more useful. So, what are we rocking with? We have a staff where we can get Bless up. And it's a free Bless that we get. The Bless also gives an additional 1d4 to saving throws and weapon attacks. And additional 2d4 to spell attack rolls. So, whether we're going to use it too much, I'm not really sure. We've got Absolute Warboard, because we did get the Absolute Brand, so we get +1 to our saving throw. Not too shabby. We've got lots of concentration spells, so we're rocking the Boots of Striding. When you cast a spell that requires concentration, we gain momentum, but more importantly, while we are concentrating, we can't get knocked prone or moved against our will, and we get +1 to Athletics. Rings, nothing crazy. We have got advantage on saving throws against being charmed, because obviously if we've got this army of nonsense, we don't really want to get charmed and lose them all. And we have just got +1 to Arcana and Religion. It's just something to be there. 2 free heals because we're a little bit more supporty. We have got Gloves of Dexterity. So we get 18 dex, which is cool. We've got Spider Silk Armor. Not really that great, but we haven't got anything else worth putting on at the moment. And we have the Headband of Intellect. So our stats across the board are looking really, really good. As the face of a party, like, you could probably dump Charisma to 8. But because I'm a face of the party, I didn't really want -1. Should we get to the next person? Should we get to Shadowheart? Because I sort of panicked at, like, the end of last stream, respecking her and whatnot.
Have to keep pushing.
And I just needed to have a think. I needed to have a think of what we needed. And, you know, we'll count to 3, and then we'll say on 3 what we think I needed the most. 1, 2, 3. Damage. So, let's get some damage.
Fate spins along as it should.
Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhap as thou desire?
So, we are going Cleric. We don't need to worry about guidance because we've got that on our main character. So we're just going to go with Sacred Flame, Blade Ward. Get rid of Blade Ward because we definitely won't use that, and we'll just do Produce Flame. And we get the Dominions off the bat. We'll do the abilities because we are going to mix it up from what I did before just because of Shadowheart's job in this party is going to be massively different. Dexterity, I'm actually going to dump to 10 this time. And I'm actually going to push strength to 16 so she's a little bit stronger. Melee weapons, how much she can carry, not that we're doing it for that. Constitution 15, we still want that high. Intelligence and charisma we're dumping. And then wisdom at 16. That's absolutely fine. She doesn't need to be persuasion because she's not the face of the party. So, we started with obviously the life domain, which, to be fair, is amazing. And there is an element that obviously I'm not using these to their full potential, like I'm sure of that. And that's fine, I can accept that I'm not the best player whatsoever. And light does have its uses. Like, because I really was tempted to do, like, have her in the light domain because she's put in disadvantage. Then you've got Gale with Divocation. And then, like, they can both, like, deny as many things as possible. However, we're going Tempest. Your faith has made you the very thunder that quakes, the black ferment, the lightning coursing through the veins of a terrible storm. As a reaction, strike back at an attacking creature, dealing 2 to 16 lightning damage, or 2 to 16 thunder damage. The target takes half damage on a successful saving throw. Get a free Thunder Wave and Fog. Abilities, confirm. We're going damage. I think we lacked a lot of damage in the last fight. And we're going to put that right. So, when I roll, or when Shadowheart rolls a thunder or lightning damage, you can use your Channel Divinity to deal maximum damage instead. So awesome. That's why on our druids we've got Create Water. Because if she's doing that much damage with lightning, then obviously... And I think in water they take double lightning damage as well. Which is obviously brilliant. We get Shatter, which is a good spell. We'll hit our own people, so we do have to be careful. Gust, just to throw people off balance, is cool. And off balance that gives them disadvantage on strength. And attacks against them have advantage, which is a nice little way to get advantage on them. Because they're prepared spells, we don't need to keep doing them at every single level. We do get a free cantrip, which we will just do as light. That's absolutely fine. And the feat, we are going to come down all the way here, click resistant. And that's going to get us to 16 constitution, which is why we took the 15. And also, more importantly, gives us proficiency in concentration saving throws. Which is awesome. So, fingers crossed, then that means any concentration we're holding up, she's going to keep up. Or gives her the highest chance to keep it up, I suppose. That's a better way of saying that. Spells, we get Call Lightning. Destroy Undead, yeah, that's fine. Subclass features. When you deal lightning or thunder damage to a creature that is large or smaller, you can also push it up to 3 meters. Handy. Especially because I believe... I'm not going to find it. I thought I could do it as a reaction. I'm sure I read that. I'm sure I read that when something hurts us, we can deal damage to it. And then that obviously procs that we can even push it away as well, which is handy, just to give us that little bit of a break. I'm sure I didn't make that up, and I definitely read it. Spells. Ice Storm. Freedom of movement's cool. So this is our final level. So cancel all these because I like to take full credit. Guiding Bolt is always a good one. Healing Word as a bonus action. We're not going to get loads of healing out of this as we would in Life Domain, but we've got Shadowheart and our druid being able to like chip in, and especially doing it as bonus actions is really helpful. We're still going to have Bless just in case our druid is in an awkward situation. We still will have Create Water because then we've got two sources that can create water so they can overlap, meaning the other person can do other things. Mass Healing Word is too strong not to think about. Spiritual Weapon is the best thing to do with our bonus action outside heal. And it's such a great thing anyway. We will do Aid as well. Heal your allies and increase their maximum hit points by 5. Which is handy going into a fight. Spirit Guardians, which is one of the best concentration things we can be doing with Shadowheart for sure. Then we're going to... tempted to carry Revivify around with me just so I don't have to go back to Withers. Seems a bit of a waste, especially when I've got Glyph of Warding here. So I'm going to do Glyph of Warding. And then... Warding Bond is sometimes handy. Oh, I forgot these up here. Or how can I ignore Banishment? I'm going to take Death Ward, so protect a creature from death. The next time damage would reduce it to 0, it remains conscious and with 1 hit point left. So I believe that works the same way as the Orc's special ability, which is obviously very handy for someone on our front line. Big shout out to take Bless. The problem is if you take too many high level spells, you're going to be disappointed. You could make the argument for dropping something out, but at the moment we'll try this. I like the idea. We have a lot of survivability. We're basically a full support role. Obviously Banishment would be good, but we're a good support role that's also walking around with Cool Lightning, with Sleet Storm. Sleet Storm's very important to break concentration. Shatter, Ice Storm, Shockwave. We have a lot. And warding, Gift of Warding is really good. You can pick a number of these, so we can do Thunder. We can also try and send them to sleep, which is really good. And we can cast that on top of the enemy as well, which is obviously awesome. Which I think, considering we want to be doing lightning and thunder damage with Shadowheart, that's going to be really great. Gear-wise, we're rocking the Shining Staver of Skulls. It's not the best weapon, 6 to 12 damage, but it does radiant damage. That's important because of these boots. When we inflict a condition, we also inflict Reverberation. That's definitely how you say it. So they have a -1 penalty to strength, dexterity, and concentration saving throws. When the entity has 5 or more, it takes 1d4 thunder damage and possibly falls prone. Why is that important? Because we're going to be doing Radiant Shockwave to everyone. So whenever we do Radiant damage, we do Radiant Shockwave. Radiant Shockwave gives Radiating Orb. Radiating Orb gives them -1 to attack. So they're going to get -1 to attack, and they're going to have Reverberation, which is going to give them thunder damage. We're basically, our goal here is to get Spirit Guardians up, Radiant damage. We're going to make everyone we hit -1 to attack, possibly then hit them with this, which then does 1d4 thunder damage, which then possibly knocks them prone, which then makes it very much easier for Lae'zel to come in there and start laying the smackdown, smashing stuff. We've got a plan. We've gone back to the crown, so when you heal, she'll heal herself 1d6. Gloves, and when we heal another creature, they also get Blade Ward, because I feel like that's just a freebie. We've got the shield here, mainly to stop the critical hits, but also if anyone hits Shadowheart, they will be sent reeling. -1 to attack. It's probably not the best synergy since she's doing it elsewhere, but I like that it stops critical hits. Can also shield bash them as well, but we're not really probably going to do that. Necklace, so we can maximize the healing points. We've got the ring, so when we deal acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage using a spell or cantrip, that then infuses our weapon. So then we deal an additional 1d4. Our weapon does radiant damage, which then can, does radiant shockwave. So we've got a little bit of a lot of synergy going on with Tempest Domain that I really love. And this one, we restore an additional 2 health points every time we heal. I feel like there's tons of synergy here. I'm actually a little bit proud. It took me a while, I'm not going to lie.
Excellent choice.
Hi, Gale.
Adventure awaits.
We're getting through it, party people. This is important stuff, because we can't lose our honor save. Not 51 hours in.
Fate, dost thou require a new as thou...
A lot of gold, obviously, we're using here, but it sort of is what it is. It needs to be done, and I've planned the builds a little bit. I've been very loosey-goosey up to now, being like, oh, we're going to be really fluid, and we're going to bring everyone in and out. We need to stop that. We need to treat honor mode with a little bit more respect. And Gale is looking fabulous. Let's go straight to abilities. We are going to keep him into wizard just because I feel weird not keeping him into wizard. There's some saving throws with charisma. I might just tackle it like this. 8 in strength because we can dump that. So we could do the headband of intellect. I don't quite know how that works with feats. If we can do the headband and still do feats and whatnot. But that's fine. Insight, investigation, that's fine. 4 cantrips. Firebolt. Ray of Frost, just because the movement sometimes comes up. We have got light elsewhere. Shock and Grasp is normally sometimes good. It stops reactions, so it's like a little bit helpful every now and then. And spells, they don't really matter. I won't do this at every level, but just a rough idea of what I'm looking for. I feel like you need these in Gale, especially on the harder difficulties, to get that. So the minute he wakes up in the day, he should be casting Mage Armor on himself to get his AC up. And then Shield, so he can use that as a reaction to increase his armor class by 5. Which I feel like he needs, just because my placement of him isn't great anyway, and I think that saves me a lot of the time. What else do we normally want? Magic missiles, because he's got a necklace that's going to go great with. We'll talk about that in a bit. Grease is really good because sometimes it procs when you fire. Long Strider's normally really good, or even Featherfall. When you get used to the game, you realise how powerful Featherfall is. Sleep early game is absolutely amazing, and then when you get to like level 3, it peters off sadly. But we would probably... What else would we want at this level? Orb is really good because you can pick what damage it does, which is helpful. Thunderwave is really good if stuff gets close, but honestly, just slapping fog on people is not probably the better option at early levels. Because wizard gear, you sort of can't... It's a little bit tougher to come across early game. Or the variety, I should say. So, you get lots. We're going divination. I like these dice. He rolls 2 dice in the morning, 2 d20s. And with them dice, he can change enemies' attacks to misses. Our misses to hits. It's brilliant. Saves to misses. Misses to saves. It's gorgeous. Gale came in clutch that last fight. Right, we can learn spells. Choose, and we can also, then a subclass, we also get a reduced fee to learn their spells as well. Not that it comes up too much, but obviously you want to learn as many spells as possible by right-clicking spells in your inventory and learning them. I've got some of these though, have I not? What do we want to learn? Ice Knife is nice. Thunder Wave is also nice. Burning Hands is okay. I find it very situational though. So let's go Shockwave. Ice Knife. Prepared spells. It's probably going to be that. Hold Person. Because Hold Person is great if we can hold something for like our melee to just dance, like smash into. It's just critical hitting something is obviously awesome. I did pick the right one, didn't I? Yep. So we could get rid of Grease for Ice Knife even. Not that it matters too much, we've got a few levels of levelling up, but it's always fun. I like levelling up on this game. It's very entertaining to say the least. Get 2 more spells. I really like Scorching Ray because it has a big burst potential. So you can just burst someone. Cloud of Daggers I like, but I never seem to use it though. Blur. Attackers have disadvantage against you. I feel like Scorching Ray and Flaming Sphere, question mark? And we'd get Misty Step. While it's a bonus action, it allows Gale to really manipulate the battlefield. I think we've lost some where we've respec, so we've lost some where we've learnt some scrolls, but that's fine. We need to respec here because we made a few errors. But yeah, I like Scorching Ray just because if you're like, you need to take someone down, it's a really good take you down spell. Obviously, you don't want to take too many spells at higher levels, otherwise you get in a bit of trouble. And the nice thing about wizards is we can just long rest and change all these so you can sort of see what you want. I find with wizards, while there are some spells that are clearly better than others, you normally get to the point where you're like, oh, I need a bit more damage, or oh, I need a bit like this. We'll get Cloud of Daggers this time. Tempted to get Gust, you know. Just seeing if there's anything obvious that I'm missing. Enlarge, but there's better things to hold our concentration on, maybe. Visibility. I'm gonna take Invisibility. It's a big get out of jail free card on honor mode. I'm actually gonna take it. We've got some other stuff that we should probably take, but we've needed invisibility once. We're going to go Resilient, and we're going to go Constitution, which then gives us proficiency in our saving throws, so hopefully means we can hold concentrations, you know, well, which would be very, very nice. We'll accept that. Two more spells, Counterspell and Fireball. Counterspell's amazing. There's an argument for haste. We need some damage, and Counterspell is the best. You counterspell a spell at a higher level. I believe it's a higher level than what they cast, and you just automatically do it. Otherwise, you have to roll for it, I believe, but don't quote me on that. Fireball, huge AoE damage dealing. A Counterspell can just lock down enemies. Counterspell for sure. You'd probably take Invisibility out for Fireball. Or Scorching Ray at this point. But you just got to try it. It's so hard. You want so much as a wizard. I haven't really been reading these out. Get an additional die, which is awesome. Oh, when you short rest, you receive a prophecy. Complete it to regain another one. List of things to do. Right, what do we want here? Probably haste. Target yourself or an ally to become hastened. Gain an action. Become faster. +2 to armor class. Great with a warrior. and we will probably go Glyph of Warding. Stinking Cloud's good, removes actions. However, I find that AI doesn't really bog itself down in there. Hypnotic Pattern isn't bad, but I think we go Glyph of Warding just because it's utility to do many things. We'll probably get Haste here, so we've got some synergy with other classes, because there's no point building this thinking what's just good for Gale. It's got to help everyone else. He's got dices that can make us hit. He's got dices that can make them miss. He's got a counter spell that can stop them. He's got haste that can speed us up. We've got a lot of options depending what we want. Ice Knife is probably going to come out for Scorching Ray at this point, just for a big damage. Magic Missiles is really good. Scorching Ray is a different type of good. This is our last level. I feel like I have to take Banishment. Banishment is great. Temporary banish someone to another plane of existence for 2 turns if they fail. Confusion. I don't know if they properly fixed that, so I don't want to do that yet. Wall of Fire is very, very good. Is there anything else that we've missed that we want to pick up on the way right this second? Again, I'm not an expert on this game, so obviously there are probably spells that I am missing that you are screaming at me, but I'm just going... Like, Dimension Door. Teleport yourself and one adjacent ally to a place you can see. It could be good to get someone somewhere. The only thing, I haven't ever used Dimension Door. If it's a case of it takes Gale's actions and the other person doesn't have to use an action, it's quite good. Polymorph. Transform a creature into a harmless sheep. Ice Storm. Tempted to take Dimension Door, you know. Yeah, I'll take Dimension Door. We take Banishment. I don't feel great about not having Glyph of Warding or Fireball. Problem is I'm going to kick Invisibility out. But it's a get out of jail free cards though. That's the problem. It's tough. There's too many things I want. I like both the shields. Apparently we're not going for much damage dealing with Gale. Which I guess will have to be fine. No, I'm going to take away Invisibility for Glyph of Warding. Just because then that can do damage, it can send people to sleep, it's got a lot of utility. As much as I hate not having Invisibility. Apparently I was like, do I have it? For Gale's gear. Haste Helm, so he gets momentum at the start of combat, so he can move more. I've equipped him this. Now, while we're not going to get any lightning charges, so he's not going to get the +1 bonus to armor class and saving throws, he does, however, get a +1 bonus to spell save DC, which is cool. I took these off Karlak because I realised Gale can use them. Braces of Defense. 2+ bonus to armor class as long as you are not wearing armor or holding a shield. And the boots. I didn't really have anything. Sorry, Gale. Ring, the wearer can see up to in the dark. Great. The necklace, so we shoot an additional dart whenever we cast Magic Missile. That's important. That's really, really good. Because then suddenly, like, 3 darts is... That's cool. And then a staff where we get 1+ bonus to spell save DC and spell attack rolls. I don't know if they stack. I hope they do. It would be cool if they did. Attack bonus. But yeah, that's what we're rocking there. And then Lae'zel Do I need to change you? Could get you more constitution. Why is your intelligence 6? Don't know what's happening with your spread of stuff, but why is your intelligence 6? From weakened elite. -2 from weakened intelligence. Ah, because you tried to get the illithid removed. Gotcha. Basically part of the story. So am I going the right way? So we are going to change her slightly, because I want to get her constitution up. I don't want it sitting on 14 in all honesty.
Let us have words.
Fate, dost thou require a new as thou?
But I feel like fighter is such a strong class. It's just pretty badass. Fighting style, great weapon fighting. It's either great weapon fighting or defense, but we're going great weapon fighting. She has got... she must be getting a -2 because of the story. But that's fine, but that's how we would respec her, to be fair. 16, 14, 16, 8, 12, 8. Skill proficiencies. Acrobatics to stop you getting pushed. History. Well, we spent the money, so we might as well continue. The only things that we would change is what Battle Master stuff we take. Because yes, we will be taking her down Battle Master. Got our action surge. Battle Master, so we get superiority dice that we can spend to do extra attacks or differing attacks that are much stronger. So we're going to go precision because I think that's great just to use that straight off the bat. We use one of our superiority dice and we can add that to the attack roll, especially considering we're getting a -5 because of Battle Master. That sort of brings it up so we can make sure we are smashing whatever we need to. Disarm, so we can hopefully drop their weapon, which is obviously brilliant because they will have to spend their whole turn to actually pick it up and equip it. And then menacing, which we'll use whenever, but we can possibly frighten them. Disadvantage on ability checks, attack rolls, and cannot move. Pretty banger. We should have went 17. We should have took 17 strength. Okay, we can't get to 20 strength the way we're doing this. Sorry.
Fate, dost thou require as?
Yeah, I'm wasting all my gold here. So great weapon fighting. We want to get that, so that's going to have to go to 14 for that to go to 17. Charisma can go to 10, I guess. There are some charisma saves, right? But then we can get her strength to 20. So then she can do more damage. So we do the exact same thing, sorry about that. But we're going to get it right, and then we don't have to. This will be the last respec. We're going to trust the system moving forward. Battle Master, so we get the superiority dice. We're going disarming, menacing, and precision. Only nearly an hour in of respecking, but fate, because we're going to go here, athlete, which gives us 1+ strength. Jump distance increase, which obviously helps her jump around the battlefield, get to where she needs to go. And if she's prone, standing up uses less movement, which is obviously a brilliant little combo. And gets our strength to 18. Because at level 8, we will then get another feat, which we will then take +2 in strength to get to 20. So we're doing a lot more damage. Except... Level 6. I thought it was level 8 for some reason. Oh, cool. So then we go ability improvement 20. I don't know why I thought it was level 8. I've lost the plot clearly. Then we can get 20 strength. Which is obviously very strong early on. And then level 7. We get 2 more maneuvers. Can evade attacks by imposing disadvantage on melee attacks for you for a round. So basically, do we do that or do we just trip attack to knock something prone? I think we've got enough. I think we go riposte, which we can spend as priority die to attack if someone misses us, which is great to do damage outside our turn. And we do evasive footwork in case we're in a really bad situation. They get disadvantage to hit up. Or do we do trip? No, we do that. And there we have it. So, we are going to have to right some wrongs. Them wrongs being what happened last stream. You know me by now, party people, I like all this organised. We have so many misty steps. It's actually crazy. But it is obviously handy. We even got a hunter's mark. We've got a nice weapon that we can do some big attacks. Okay, there we go. We're going to organise this, then go.
Lost in thought.
Oh, and we get a free Melf's Acid Arrow as well. With the staff, which is obviously very nice. So yeah, so I'm hoping... I'm not going to say a walk in the park. I'm hoping we're going to be able to get along a little bit better in this fight. There are 2 enemies that we took down. I know it's not exactly saying much, but obviously every little helps. Just accidentally banish. Can you banish yourself? Is that a thing? Right, there we go. Lae'zel sorted, Gale lock you in. I've already given Gale all the... what's it called? Spells and stuff off stream, so he is ready to go. Our free heals can go there. Speak with Dead, survival instinct. I mean, we have no survival instinct on this save. We have got wild shape, but it's just going to be used for shenanigans. And then it's going to be getting used to using, obviously, our new spores. So not to spore you with trying to learn it. But we're all going to be about getting our minion armies up. We do get a free animate dead, which is awesome. But it's going to be all about learning what we can do. So... got to organise this into something that's slightly reminiscent of like something that I understand. Core Lightning, Blight. And we've got Heal. Shalewa is never going to be used. Right, we've got Detect Forts, Speak with Animals, Guidance, Long Strider. God, we have a lot. Create Water. We have Thorn Whip, Blindness, Confusion, Fog, Moonbeam. Okay. So we'll have a look, because there's a couple of things that we can do just from like immediately in the morning with our new spore druids, we will have to have a good look. So, sorry about this, but once it's all sorted, then we are obviously cooking on gas, and it just allows me to see everything, and then hopefully perform better. I mean, I'll be honest, I just need to redeem myself, okay? The performance was not great. It wasn't shocking, but it wasn't great. And I need to do better if I want to beat honor modes. Like, can we even, like, with a straight face say that anymore? Like, I'm not really sure. I'll put turn undead there, because that's an important skill. Okay. So. There we go. So everyone's got all their... Where are you? That was weird. Shadowheart, all the spells. All spells. 5 superiority dice, and you're missing 1 level 1 spell.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
We're all geared up. We nicked everything from all the other people. So, it's probably a good place to cut it for the YouTube. So I'm going to go to the toilet, and then we're going to go redeem ourselves.